This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here, and today we're going to be trying to build the best neighborhood. We're going to be putting houses, and we're going to be trying to make parks near those houses with nice trees, and we're going to be trying to make sure we put pools in some of these lots. We're also going to be doing different things like building fences and construction, so we're going to be building a really cool neighborhood. You're trying to have the coolest one at the end. Today we're looking at Welcome to. This is a roll and write game that doesn't use dice. It's a card, so it's kind of a flip and write. So it's that style of game that can be played with 1 to as many players as you want. So let me show you how it's played. I'll see you on the other side. Now in this game, you are all American architects in the 1950s, and I just want to show off the art in this game. These are just the back sides of the player aids, but they have the really cool style of art. And here's the player aid on the other side of it that will help you throughout the game, but let's get into how the game's played. Now at the beginning of the game, everyone's going to get one of these really nice looking player sheets. You're going to name your community. So in this case, welcome to the Fur Kid Country Club. And over the course of the game, you're going to be placing numbers on these streets of rows of houses, and you're going to be scoring in all sorts of different ways. Now each round, there's going to be a number and an ability that are together. I love the artwork on these cards. They have all different things like the raccoon, the little bird, a flag, and they're all sort of different. But each of them has a number and an ability, and you're going to choose one of these 3 sets, take the number and draw it on your board, and then possibly, if you'd like to, use the special ability. Now here's one of my completed sheets to show you how this works. Each of these rows, as you start to write numbers, you'll notice they all have to go in ascending order. You can leave some blanks, but as you write down numbers, they always have to go in ascending order in each of the 3 streets. Now each or all of the players can actually pick that same combination. Let's say I wanted to take the 4 with the pool. So I'll just come in here and I will write a 4. I can write it at this point anywhere. Of course, you'd probably want to write it somewhere close to the left because again, you can only go in ascending order. Now, the pool says if you draw this in a spot where there actually is a pool, in this case, I did that, you could cross off the lowest number under the pool. At the beginning of the game, it's worth 0 points. At the end of the game, however, the lowest number that's not crossed out will be your point. So if I get a bunch of pools and I want to work on those, I'll get points in that way. Now I just happen to have put this in the 4th one. I could have put it anywhere. I could have put it here, I could have put it here. Really at this point I could have put it anywhere, but that's how the pools work. Now you're only taking one of the 3 combinations, but let me show you what the other ones would have done. If I had taken this one, instead of writing that 4, I could write a 7, and when I do that, I would mark the palm tree on that row. So this is the palm trees, I would mark the palm trees. Now the first one, this is showing me I'm going to get 2 points at the end of the game. If I've marked a bunch of palm trees, I can get all the way to 10. And the 3rd street's longer, so you can actually get more points, but you need to concentrate more on it. So right now, if it ended, my palm trees would score me 2 at the end of the game. Now with this one, it's called the temp agency, but I like to call it the construction zone. This has a 9. Now, what this allows you to do is you can change this number up or down by 1 or 2. So this could actually be anywhere between a 7 and an 11. So let's say I wanted to write a 10 here. I made a boo-boo here. Now, if you do change the number, you mark this here, and whoever has the most of these at the end will get 7 points, second most 4, third most 1 at the end of the game. Now once everyone has taken one of these 3, and again, they could all take the same one if they wanted to, these cards would just simply flip, and it's really cool because what it does is it gives you a new number and a new possible ability. So I'm just going to show you what some of these other abilities do. Now the fence allows you to draw a fence. I can take this number and I can actually write it on any of these streets. Let's say I write it like this. Now I can draw a fence. Now how this works is you'll see these are like dotted lines in between each house. I'm going to go like this. Now you notice that I did this in a different row. It's okay, but they're always going up and down. And notice that the ones on the ends are also solid. So right here, and because I put a fence here, gives me a group of 3 houses. So this is important because at the beginning of the game, there's 3 common goals that are placed out. One level 1, one level 2, and one level 3. And if you're the first to do any of these, you'll get the points on the left. If you're the second, well, once this flips over, you'll see everyone else can get sort of that second one there. So this says if you're the first to have 3 different areas of 3, you'll get this, or 3 1s and a 6, or a 1, a 4, and a 5. And there's actually a ton of each of these in the game, so it'll make every game feel different. Now going back to my finished city, as you use those to actually get the points, you actually squiggle them out at the back here, so you know that you cannot use them for another set. Now, the real estate ability. When you get that, you can check off the top one of any of these. This is the different size areas that we made with those fences. Here I went heavy on areas of 3, so that at the end of the game, each of those is going to be worth 6 points. Now I have area of 3 here, 2, 3, 4, and what we have here is I have a 5th one, but it's not finished. So for every finished one I have of this area, it's going to be worth that much. I had 4 of those. 6 times 4 is 24 points. If I had a number here, I would have gotten another 6 points. But you can decide which areas you're sort of focusing on. Now the biz is the last ability I'll show you about. It allows you to add the same number twice, an extra number if you will. So for here I had a 4 and it allowed me to write a 4 again. I put a B for the biz. And you got to do these it has to be next to the same number, but within the same fence line, same track of homes. This one I actually did it twice. I did 4B here and 4B here. And this one over here I did 13B here. Every time you do that, you cross one of these off. It's going to be minus the lowest number here at the end of the game. Now, if you cannot draw anything, you would mark one of these spots here. And if someone marks, you'll get minus the lowest number there. If someone marks all 3 of these, that's one of the ways the game will end. It will also end if any one player has filled out all 3 streets all the way, or when any one player has completed all 3 of the planned goals, add up the points, whoever has the most is the winner. Now there's some advanced goal cards that have stars on them. You can mix these in with the other ones. This one says the first one have 7 temps crossed out would get this. This says on any 2 streets, if you have full, either all pools or all parks. There's also different types of achievements you can try to get, like by completing all 3 plans, or winning without building any pools, or so on and so forth, something fun to kind of shoot for. All right, well, there is welcome to. Now, a lot of these sort of roll, and I know it's cards, but I'm still going to call this a roll and write because essentially it's that style of game where something's happening, you're picking some things and you're writing them down and you're all sort of working against each other like that. But most of those, a lot of these have sort of, they're very abstract, and this is sort of abstracted, but I like the theme. It really does come out well here, where you're trying to build, you're trying to make the fences for the areas, you're trying to put, match pools with pools and parks to, things like that. So I like that this actually was sort of gave it a good theme, and it did a good job invoking that. I love the art and graphic design in this game. It just looks so pretty. You've got a very big score sheet that's nice. And some of these things come with these tiny little sheets. This is nice and big. The colors are nice and vibrant. It looks nice on the table. And I like just all the graphic design that went into this. It just looks pretty, much prettier than most roll and write style games. It really does draw you in because of that. So you can play this with an unlimited amount of players, which I really like, because not only do you have those sheets, but there's also a free app that you can download and keep your score on that too. So that will help you from running out of sheets. But still, you can play this with as many people as you want, unlimited, especially with the app, because people can keep scores. And I always like these games where everyone's sort of rushing and everyone's taking from the same thing, and you can play it with as many people as you want, because this is good for, you could do this in a convention, for say. You set up a room full of people, everyone's got the app, and on the screen you could just put the cards and let people go to town. I think that's fun. This definitely have tough choices, and those are matched with numbers and abilities. So you get each of those number is matched with an ability, and you try to say, "Ooh, I really want that number, but that ability is okay. It's not really going to do me so much right now. Ooh, but this other one's got the ability I really need. The number not so hot. Ooh, this other one's so on both. Which one do I take?" So even though the game's simple, I think it has a lot of really good, tough choices, and you're kind of picking some strategies overall throughout the game. You're kind of sticking with those, trying to run with those, because you get, if for specializing in a couple of those really well, you're going to get a lot of points over the courses of the game. I like that the fences for the areas and the goal cards is really cool. You're trying to put them in different areas of different numbers, and those will really get you those goals. And it's really trying to figure out how best to do that, how to do it fastest, because a lot of those goal cards, whoever gets there first is getting the more points. So I really like that aspect. Now, some of the other abilities are really cool too. So you've got the sort of palm trees making the parks, and that sort of goes up the more of them you get in a certain row, the more you get. The pools is cool, because if you get to put that number and you put it right where a pool is, you might have wanted to put the 8 next door, but well, I'll put it here because it's going to get a pool, and it'll let me go up that pool track and get more points there. The construction, having the most of those will get you some points at the end. Real estate, going through the different specialties there. So all the different ways of scoring was really cool here. Pick a strategy and kind of go down those different things. I like that they had an advanced variant with new goals, because not always do you want them to be fences, even though those fences are really important. You can play it where it's a little bit different style of goals, and I like that. The solo mode, I played that and it works really well. There's some different icons that tell you how to play there, and it worked well. These roll and write games, I think all of them should be able to play solo, because a lot of times it's fun to just pull it out on the plane or whatever and do one of these things. So it did work. Now, I was covering the version that came out in France because I bought it from there after playing it at Gamma with Suzanne Sheldon from the Dice Tower. But the only negative I had is it's hard to find until soon, because I think right around Origins, Deepwater Games is going to be having some small limited amount of these, and then they'll bring it into retail or be available in a wider, so I know North America they're bringing it, I don't know where else they're bringing it. So up until now it's been really hard to find, but hopefully that will alleviate itself coming soon. So I don't have a lot negative to say about this game. I really loved it. It's one of my favorite roll and write style of games that I have, period. And that's welcome to. So it's gonna get a saxophone serenade, so here we go.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com.